guys, thanks for tuning in. I think I'm going to start doing a weekly wrap-up of the graphic novels that I read for that week, because a few of you have requested that I do reviews of graphic novels because you just don't know whether you want to read them or not. And I read so many of them. Like, for instance, last year I read, I think, a total of 446 books, maybe, I think. And a majority of those were graphic novels and trades. So I'm going to try out the weekly wrap-ups of the graphic novels, which means they're not going to be full-on reviews. I'm just going to briefly tell you a little bit about the graphic novels that I have read, just to, kind of entice you to maybe read them yourself. Okay, the first graphic novel that I completed this week was Sad Amarillo. This is a Dark Horse graphic novel by Juan Diaz Canales, and I can't even pronounce the other guy's name. It's something Latin, so I'm just not gonna try. Well, anyways, Sad is a true crime kind of. It's set in, I believe, either the 1940s or 1950s. All the characters are animals, as you can see, like this guy, this lion guy, and it's kind of done in a way where people of different races are certain types of animals, but it's done in a way so it's not to be offensive, if you get what I mean by that. But here's some of the inside of that. I'll show you some of the different pages so you can kind of get an idea of exactly what this book was like. I thought it was okay. I gave it like 3 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I don't know if there are any other Sad graphic novels. I don't think I would read any more of them if given the opportunity. It was just okay. Not much more to say about that one. Next up, I read Nothing Can Possibly Go Wrong. This was a second publishing graphic novel that was done by these two women, Prudence Shen and Faith Erin Hicks. This very much reminded me of a lot of high school election type movies that were done in the 90s, because that was like the main plot of the book. And the artwork really reminded me of Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So it was kind of, it was... At first, when I first started reading this, I was like, yeah, I'm not really feeling this. I started thinking it was a 2-star book, but I managed to rate it 3 stars on Goodreads, just because the ending, which was a robot battle that they had to compete in, and I'm not going to explain why that happened. If you're really interested, you can read it, because I don't want to spoil it for you. But yeah, this one was just okay. It was, take it or leave it. Next up, we have Through the Woods by Emily Carroll. This one, I have to say, and I think this one was kind of hyped up a little bit on Goodreads, because everybody thought it was a 4 or 5 star book. It does have beautiful artwork, I will give it that much. This was another book where when it started out, I was just kind of like, yeah, that's okay, because the stories all revolve around like horrific things that are in the woods, and it's all in this kind of like watercolor, acrylic looking drawings, or ink drawings or whatever. But when it got towards the middle, towards the end, it started to redeem itself. So I think I gave this one a 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. And it got pretty interesting, and it got a little more creative with the creatures that were coming out of the woods or whatever. But yeah, it's really beautiful artwork. I mean, I don't know if that's why so many people fell in love with this book, just because of the artwork. But yeah, if you guys get an example, this is some of this. Try not to show you the same stuff over and over again here. But yeah, I mean, I gave this 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Next we have Injustice, Gods Among Us. This is part 2. Unfortunately, I was not able to read the first part of this because someone else has it out, and out in different orders, and when you borrow stuff from the library, sometimes you just get things out of order. This is based on a video game of the same title. The people that made Mortal Kombat made Injustice, and this is like a prequel to that, I guess. So you can understand I was a little hesitant to read this, being that it's based on a video game. And surprisingly, it is pretty good. I was actually surprised that it was good. Basically, I don't think this is really DC lore because it's kind of weird and different, and being that it is based on a video game, it takes place in a DC universe where Superman has quote-unquote gone crazy and he's on a killing spree. I guess, I don't know because I didn't read part 1, but I guess he has killed the Joker. The city of Metropolis has been destroyed, and he's just totally lost it. And the heroes and villains are in different factions, and they're trying to stop each other from doing whatever it is they're doing. Of course, Superman thinks he's justified in killing people that he's killing, because he thinks he's protecting the world or whatnot, but yeah, so I really thought this was a really interesting trade. If you're into like action-packed superhero throwdowns, then I would definitely check out Injustice. I rated this 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. Next up we have Teen Titans Beast Boys and Girls. This is Volume 3 and the Teen Titans, and of course this is the older Teen Titans series, which had a very long run, and I told you guys in my last Let's Get Graphic that the reason I wanted to read this is because I was so impressed with the New 52 incarnation of the Teen Titans. So, I mean, I've read a few of these classic Teen Titans books, but this one really disappointed me. Yes, the front is very cartoony, and I think that was one of the things that really discouraged me from liking this. But the story it seemed to be, okay, let's just say it had too much text, and I sometimes get really bothered by having to read a lot of text that has nothing to do with the story, when it's just garbage text, like just filler basically, where it's, random nonsense junk that has nothing to do with the story. I really don't think that that's cool, and I really think it takes away from a great story. And I really felt that this book really did that. It had too much nonsense text. It was unimportant to the story, just them chatting, and I thought it really killed this book for me. So I have to say that I only rated this one 2 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I just wasn't having it. Sorry, guys. It did nothing for me. So we have Teen Titans Year 1. I do have to say, first off, I really, really like the New 52's origin story for the Teen Titans better than this. But I found this one to be very charming. I really enjoyed the artwork, as you can see from here. And some of this was kind of funny. I think they were trying to be funny. Teen Titans can be somewhat satirical or comedic at times. But here's some of the inside. There was one scene where their explanation for why the Teen Titans were formed was because Batman bitch slapped Robin. I thought that was kind of funny, and I was kind of like, what the fuck is going on here? And yeah, but it later gets explained in the story why that event happened. But I really thought the artwork really made this story more enjoyable than if it had been someone else who had done this book. It probably wouldn't have impressed me as much. But I really enjoyed it, and I rated this one 4 out of 5 stars on Goodreads. I thought it was pretty good. Next up, we have the Avengers Search for She-Hulk. This one, on the other hand, the artwork was pretty bad. I mean, they looked so... I don't know. they don't... I don't know how they list the names. I know it's one person... Okay, it was written by Jeff Johns. Oh, illustrated by Scott Collins. I really am not impressed with his drawing style. I really don't like it. I think it really kind of didn't do nothing for me. So, like, this one, She-Hulk, for some reason, she's ran away from home. She's not with the Avengers, and they're looking for her. And, yeah. The Avengers get together and the Hulk, and they try to track her down and bring her back home. I only gave this one like 3 out of 5 stars. It was just okay. So yeah, so that is the end of this weekly wrap-up. I hope this is something that you guys will want to see more of. I hope that maybe I've introduced you guys to some cool graphic novels. I love to share my love of comics with you guys. And there was one other book that was in that last Let's Get Graphic that I just didn't get a chance to get to before the end of the week, and I'm probably going to include that in next week's weekly wrap-up or in a future one, so stay tuned for that one. Thanks for watching. Questions, comments down below if you thought you were interested in any of these. And another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to write a blog post that will tell you guys a little bit more where you can purchase these graphic novels for yourself if you're interested in doing so. So thanks for watching, and until next time, later guys.